Stop. Don't touch your phone tomorrow morning, because the first 10 minutes after you wake up are programming. Your entire life, and most people are getting it completely wrong. Right now, you are either building a powerful future or silently destroying it before you even leave your bed. The difference between winners and everyone else? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's how they start their morning. And if you don't take control of those first few minutes, the world will take control of you. But if you do, you can literally rewire your mindset, your identity, and your future starting tomorrow. Most people wake up and immediately fall into the trap, rushing, reacting, drifting without purpose. But what if the first 10 minutes of your day could rewire your entire future? This one morning decision holds the power to change your mindset, shape your identity, and dictate your success. Why? Because the way you begin is the way you become. By mastering a simple, intentional ritual that prepares your mind to lead, not follow, your future starts the moment you open your eyes. In a few moments, I will teach you how to command your mornings and completely reshape the course of your life. The morning is a mirror. If I could follow you for one morning, I could predict your future. Not because I am wise, but because your morning reflects your discipline, your direction, your desires. Most people rise in reaction. They wake up to alarms, to demands. They let the world knock on their door before they knock on the door of opportunity. But the winners rise with intention. Every great structure stands on a foundation. Your foundation is your morning. What you do before the world sees you determines how the world treats you. The first hour after you wake up is not just time, it is a statement. It says, I am in control or I am controlled. When you step out of bed, step into purpose. Reject the noise. No news, no gossip, only clarity. Only focus. Only the voice inside you that says, we are not here to survive, we are here to conquer. Do not drift, do not snooze. The moment you hesitate, you hand your power to fear. You tell the day that it owns you. But when you rise with fire, when you speak your goals aloud, write them down, and take one small step forward, you take command, and that command becomes your compass. The morning doesn't give you power, it reveals it. And if you use it correctly, it multiplies it. You become unshakable not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do first. Your thoughts are soil. Your focus is water. Your action is sunlight. If you give your mind these 3 every morning, your life will bear fruit beyond measure. So ask yourself, who do I want to become? Start becoming that person before breakfast. You know exactly what you need to do, but you just can't get yourself to do it. Hours pass, days slip away, and that task stays untouched. But what if I told you the problem isn't your motivation, it's your mindset? In a few minutes, I'll show you a simple shift that forces you into action even when you don't feel like it. Because if you don't change this now, you'll keep watching your potential slip through your fingers. The power of taking action. There exists a fundamental misunderstanding about success, a belief that one must first be inspired to act. This is a fatal misconception. Success is not reserved for those who wait for motivation. Rather, it belongs to those who cultivate the discipline to act, regardless of their emotional state. The truth is simple. Motivation follows movement. It is not the cause of action, but the effect. Many believe they must feel ready before they embark on their journey towards success. They wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or a surge of inspiration that may never arrive. This hesitation is the primary reason so many fail to achieve their goals. The successful, however, operate differently. They understand that action precedes clarity. By taking the first step, they uncover the path forward. Each action reveals new opportunities and insights that were previously hidden in the fog of inaction. A young man once sought financial success, but found himself trapped by hesitation. He studied, prepared, and strategized, yet his plans remain unexecuted. He waited for inspiration to strike, believing that only then would he possess the confidence to proceed. But the truth is, confidence is built through action. It is not a prerequisite, but a result. One cannot think their way into success. They must act their way into it. History is replete with examples of men who acted boldly despite uncertainty. Thomas Edison did not wait for inspiration to perfect the electric light bulb. He experimented relentlessly, allowing each failure to bring him closer to success. Henry Ford did not hesitate until the automobile industry proved profitable. He acted with conviction and reshaped the world. The defining trait of these men was not their ability to summon motivation, but their willingness to act in its absence. When a man acts, he engages with reality in a way that thought alone never allows. He sees what works, what does not, and what must be adjusted. Each step taken eliminates doubt and replaces it with knowledge. In contrast, the man who waits for motivation remains stagnant, ensnared in the web of overthinking and self-doubt. The biggest challenge is always the first step. The initial resistance, whether in business, personal development, or any endeavor, feels insurmountable. But the moment one pushes past it, the force of momentum takes over. The mind rewards movement with clarity and conviction. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. A salesman who hesitates before making his first call finds himself paralyzed by fear. But if he forces himself to dial the number, something remarkable happens. The fear diminishes, his confidence grows, and with each subsequent call, the process becomes easier. He did not wait for motivation. He acted, and motivation followed. The principle applies universally. The entrepreneur who launches his venture without complete certainty, the writer who begins before inspiration strikes, the speaker who takes the stage despite nerves, all succeed not because they felt ready, but because they refused to let inaction dictate their fate. The path to success is not illuminated by motivation. It is carved by disciplined action. The man who masters this truth understands that waiting is the enemy of progress. He acts whether he feels like it or not, knowing that motivation will always catch up to those already moving. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear is the enemy of progress. It stands like a shadow at the threshold of every great endeavor, whispering doubts into our ears. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? It murmurs, planting seeds of hesitation in our minds. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Most of what we fear never actually happens. And even if it does, so what? Failure is not the end. It is merely a stepping stone on the path to success. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. The difference between them and those who remain paralyzed by fear? They kept moving forward. They refused to let fear dictate their actions. They understood that progress is born from action, not from endless contemplation. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most crucial. Taking that step, even while afraid, is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. Fear shrinks when you move toward it. It thrives in the unknown, growing in power the longer you hesitate. But the moment you take action, its grip weakens. This is because courage isn't the absence of fear. It is taking action despite fear. Think about the worst-case scenario. Can you handle it? The answer is almost always yes. Human beings are far more resilient than they give themselves credit for. Most failures are recoverable. Most mistakes can be corrected. And in the rare case that things go truly wrong, the experience still provides valuable lessons that pave the way for future success. Fear feeds on hesitation. The longer you wait, the stronger it becomes. That's why procrastination is fear's greatest ally. The mind magnifies the imagined consequences of failure, making them seem insurmountable. But the only way to beat fear is to act immediately. Action is the antidote to fear. Even small, consistent actions begin to dissolve it. Every step forward, no matter how small, chips away at the illusion of fear's power. Think of fear as a wall that seems unscalable at first glance. From a distance, it appears intimidating, impenetrable. But as you approach it, you begin to see the cracks. And when you take action, when you start climbing, it turns out the wall was never as high as it seemed. Fear is like that. It deceives you into believing that progress is impossible, when in reality the only thing standing in your way is inaction. Edwin C. Barnes, a man who had a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison. Barnes had no money, no connections, and no clear path to success. Only a vision and an unwavering determination. He could have let fear stop him, but instead he took action. He boarded a freight train, arrived at Edison's office, and boldly declared his intent to become his business partner. Though he was initially given a low-level job, he never let go of his dream. Years later, when the opportunity arose, Barnes seized it and became a key figure in Edison's business. His story is a testament to the fact that fear loses its power when faced with decisive action. So how do you overcome fear? The answer is simple. Face it head on. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no such thing. The only way to diminish fear is to act. Break your goal into smaller steps and tackle them one by one. With each action you take, fear loses its hold on you. The more you confront it, the weaker it becomes. Before you know it, what once seemed terrifying becomes just another challenge to overcome. The truth is, fear only has power if you let it stop you. The greatest enemy of progress is not failure, but the refusal to try. The choice is yours. Will you let fear dictate your future? Or will you take control and move forward despite it? The answer to that question will determine the trajectory of your life. Choose wisely. Choose action. Choose progress. Destroying procrastination. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How often has tomorrow turned into next week, next month, next year? Before you even realize it, time has slipped away, leaving you with nothing but unfulfilled plans and lost potential. The truth is, the perfect moment you're waiting for does not exist. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can take control of your life. Procrastination is a silent thief. It disguises itself as preparation, perfectionism, or the need for ideal conditions. You tell yourself you need more time, more knowledge, more confidence. But the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Every delay strengthens the habit of inaction. The only way to break free is to take action. Now, even if it's messy, even if it's small, one imperfect action is worth more than 100 perfect intentions. Start by implementing the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on something for just 5 minutes. That's all. No pressure, no overthinking. Once you begin, you'll likely keep going. Momentum is powerful. It transforms hesitation into progress. The hardest part of any task is the beginning. But once you push past the initial resistance, everything becomes easier. Discipline is key. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, notifications, endless entertainment. If you don't control your environment, it will control you. Set clear deadlines. Break big tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Prioritize consistency over perfection. Small daily efforts compound over time and create massive results. Success is not about doing something once in a while. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Accountability is your ally. Tell someone about your goals. Track your progress. Write things down. When you make a commitment to yourself and others, you create a sense of responsibility that makes it harder to give up. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's the ability to take action without waiting for the right mood or the perfect conditions. Time is your most valuable resource. Every moment you waste waiting for the right time is a moment you'll never get back. Your future is being shaped right now by what you choose to do or not do. Will you continue to wait, or will you take control and start today? The choice is yours. Tomorrow is not promised. The only time you truly have is now. So stop waiting. Stop planning endlessly. Take the first step, no matter how small, no matter how imperfect. Because action beats inaction every single time. Building self-discipline. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about training yourself to win. It's a mindset, a commitment to excellence, and an unwavering belief in your ability to persevere. Every time you show up for yourself, you prove that you can trust yourself. That trust builds confidence, and confidence fuels success. The key to discipline isn't about making yourself miserable. It's about reinforcing habits that lead to victory. The more you push through discomfort, the easier it gets. The first time you step into discomfort, it feels unbearable. Your mind screams at you to stop, to seek comfort, to return to safety. But if you resist that urge, if you push through even when it's hard, you begin to reshape your mental landscape. You rewire your brain to embrace challenge rather than flee from it. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes second nature. You develop resilience, a mental toughness that turns obstacles into stepping stones. Discipline isn't about doing what you feel like doing. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. If you rely on motivation, you'll find yourself at the mercy of your emotions. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind, but discipline is different. It doesn't depend on your mood or your level of enthusiasm. It is a conscious decision to take action, whether you feel like it or not. You don't negotiate with your emotions. You don't wait until you feel ready. You don't look for excuses. You simply take action. When the alarm goes off in the morning, you get up. When it's time to work, you work. When challenges arise, you face them head on. This ability to act, in spite of emotions, is what separates the successful from the stagnant. Success isn't built on motivation. It's built on consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day, a week, or even a month. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the honeymoon phase is over? That's when discipline takes over. It's not about the grand gestures or the fleeting bursts of inspiration. It's about showing up day in and day out, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is the foundation of all greatness. The people who achieve their dreams aren't necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They keep going even when progress is slow, even when they're tired, even when no one is watching. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Like any muscle, it requires training, repetition, and effort. If you want to become disciplined, you have to practice discipline. Start small. Wake up when you say you will. Stick to your commitments. Do the work even when you don't feel like it. These small acts of self-discipline compound over time. They create a sense of personal integrity, a knowing that you can count on yourself. And once you develop that level of trust in yourself, your potential becomes limitless. The greatest rewards in life come to those who do what needs to be done long after the initial excitement has worn off. Anyone can start something, but very few finish. The world is full of people who began with enthusiasm, only to abandon their goals when the journey became difficult. But true discipline is about endurance. It's about staying the course even when you no longer feel like it. Even when the path is uncertain. Even when progress is invisible. That's when breakthroughs happen. That's when you separate yourself from the rest. Self-discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. It is the silent force that carries you from where you are to where you want to be. Without it, dreams remain dreams. With it, anything is possible. Discipline is not a punishment, it's a gift. It's the ultimate form of self-respect, the highest act of self-love. It is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Train yourself to win, and there will be no limits to what you can achieve. Using pain as fuel. Pain is a powerful teacher. It can either break you or build you, and the choice is yours alone to make. When faced with adversity, you have two options. Succumb to the weight of your suffering or rise above it stronger than before. Pain is inevitable, but growth is optional. The way you respond to life's challenges determines your trajectory. You can let setbacks turn you bitter, or you can use them to make you better. Every successful person has encountered rejection, loss, and failure. No one reaches the pinnacle of success without scars from their battles. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. They do not allow pain to stop them. Instead, they use it as fuel to propel themselves forward. Pain becomes their fire, forging them into something greater. It sharpens the mind, strengthens the spirit, and hardens the result. When others crumble, they rise. The next time life knocks you down, do not stay down. Get up, rise with renewed determination. Let pain push you to be stronger, sharper, and more relentless than ever. Growth is never comfortable, and that is precisely why pain is essential. It forces you to evolve. It stretches you beyond your limits and shatters the illusion of complacency. The best lessons in life emerge from struggle, not from ease. Pain carves wisdom into your soul, molding you into the person you were meant to become. Discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. When you are in pain, you are in transition. It is in these moments that you must make a decision. Will you allow this pain to consume you, or will you harness it? Most people run from pain, but the wise understand that pain is an ally. It is the force that pushes you forward when nothing else will. When you learn to embrace the hard times, you gain an edge over those who shrink from difficulty. You become unshakable. Reframing pain as part of the process changes everything. You no longer fear it. You stop seeing it as an enemy and start recognizing it as a guide. Pain is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of something greater. When you use pain as motivation, you push beyond what you once thought possible. You tap into a reservoir of strength you never knew you had. You become unstoppable. Think of the most resilient people in history. They all have one thing in common. They turned their pain into power. They faced rejection and used it to refine their skills. They suffered loss and used it to deepen their purpose. They endured failure and used it as a stepping stone to success. Pain became their teacher, shaping them into legends. You too have that power within you. You are capable of more than you realize, but only if you are willing to embrace the struggle. Do not shy away from the fire. Step into it. Let it forge you into something greater. Every time you feel pain, remind yourself this is where transformation happens. This is where I grow. This is where I become the person I was meant to be. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path. You will experience moments where the pain feels unbearable. But in those moments, remember, pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to build you. It is here to shape you into someone unbreakable. So when the storm comes, and it will, stand tall. Face the pain. Do not cower. Do not retreat. Embrace it. Use it. Turn it into the fuel that drives you forward. Because in the end, pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Embracing failure as feedback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential component of the journey toward achievement. The most successful individuals in history have failed more times than others have even attempted the moment of decision. Right now you have a choice. You can continue waiting, hesitating, and making excuses. Or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. The day you stop talking and start doing. No more waiting. No more excuses. Just action. Because action is the only thing that will get you to where you want to be. Success doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or dreaming. It comes from doing. Dreams remain dreams unless they are backed by effort and persistence. Many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or a sign to begin. But waiting won't bring results. The only way forward is to take that first step, no matter how small. Decide today that you are done waiting, done doubting yourself, done holding back. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment to start. Conditions will never be 100% ideal. But those who succeed are not the ones who wait for perfection. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty, fear, or discomfort. They push forward even when the odds seem stacked against them. Take control of your life by taking action now. Every successful person at some point made the decision to start. They didn't wait for confidence to appear magically. They built it through action. The only way to build confidence is by proving to yourself that you can do it. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to begin. Action creates momentum, and momentum fuels progress. Start small if you have to, but start. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Procrastination doesn't just delay success, it kills it. Every day spent waiting is a day wasted. A day you could have used to move closer to your goals. Don't let hesitation rob you of your potential. Force yourself to take action. Push past the excuses, the doubts, and the fears. Fear will always be present, but it loses its power when you act despite it. Step into your power. Recognize that you are capable of more than you think. You have the ability to change your life, to rewrite your story, to create the future you desire. But it all begins with action. Make the decision that from this moment forward, you are unstoppable. Commit to showing up for yourself every single day, regardless of how you feel. Motivation may come and go, but discipline and action are what will carry you through. Success is built on consistency, not fleeting bursts of inspiration. Your future depends on what you do right now. The choices you make today will shape the life you live tomorrow. There is no magic formula, no secret shortcut. Only action, persistence, and determination. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Start doing. Your time is now.